Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, November 7th. So the moon is going to be moving out of Sagittarian energy and will be making its way into Capricorn energy. So the moon is going to go void, of course, around 9:45 a.m., again, Atlantic Standard Time, and will not be locking into Capricorn energy until about 9:04 p.m. So what do we know about this? Well, first of all, the whole day is going to be with the moon void, of course. What does that tell us? It tells us it's going to be emotionally and mentally unstable. It is not a good time to commit to anything. It is not a good time to start anything new. It is not a good time to make a solid decision. What we do know is that the moon coming out of this fiery, exciting, big picture energy, optimistic energy of Sagittarius and moving into Earthy Capricorn, it might feel like we are going to hit a brick wall. That fire energy to the earth energy definitely brings us down a couple of pegs. We have to really get down to the nitty-gritty, focus on the present moment. And of course, this Capricorn energy is focused on productivity, focused on building and creating and actually seeing something tangible for the energy and for the efforts that we're putting in. Yes, this Capricorn energy is going to try and distract us from all of our thoughts and all of our feelings, but we are going to see some major foundational work actually manifest. So we have 12 different aspects taking place here today. 9 of them involve the moon, which does suggest a little bit of a cray-cray kind of day. Again, with the bulk of the day being with the moon void, of course, things are a little bit shaky. Things are a little bit all over the place, and we are going to feel that energy shift within us. We're not going to feel so good about what it is that we're doing and what it is that we're trying to do. We're going to be a little bit all over the place. So you have to give yourself those kinds of leeways, those kinds of passes. We start off with Venus making an aspect with the true node, and I got to tell you, we're emotionally unsure. We just do not know what we want. We don't know what we need at this point. We're trying to think long term, but we can't. And that true node does want us to think about the futuristic goals and dreams that we have, but we're having such a hard time with the blinders on, with us trying to navigate these particular energies. We're just unsure and uncertain, and we're definitely we're not going to make much leeway or headway here with these particular energies here today. The moon is going to make a positive aspect with Uranus, and this is kind of like our inner cheerleader trying to pep talk us, like, okay, don't worry about it. You don't know what you want. That's okay. You don't know what it is that you need. That's fine. You're not feeling safe. You're not feeling secure. You're not feeling stable. That's okay. Give yourself permission to sit in it. That Uranian energy, of course, is trying to shift our mental plane, shift our perspective. And where the moon is involved, we're trying to make an emotional shift, a mental shift to get in alignment. Again, if you haven't listened to this week's Ascension Symptom Forecast, you should check that out. We are building towards the 1111 portal this week, which is the major alignment. But until we get there, we are going to have to do this very delicate dance back and forth of our mind, our body, our soul, our intentions, our past, our future, all kind of triggering us in order for us to find a common ground among all of them. The moon is going to go ahead and bump into Mars. And of course, Mars is his place of power in Scorpio. And this is definitely going to add to a lot of the restless energy, a lot of the anxiety that we're having. We are kind of getting all boiled up, all festered up. We're really having a hard time aligning with our intuition, aligning with our inner truth, because we don't like our circumstances. We don't like our thoughts. We don't like our feelings. Everything is very shaky. And so we do want to monitor the fact that we could potentially lash out and kind of project our anger, our frustration, and our uncertainties on other people. We want to, of course, prevent that from happening, but just know that that is a potential outcome of this very not so nice, bubbly, restless energy. The moon goes ahead and squares Neptune. And again, this is not a positive aspect. We're really at odds with our intuition, with our gut. We can't really discern our ego from our higher selves. We have negative thoughts coming in, but even our intuition is telling us that something isn't quite right. We're having a hard time aligning with our higher selves, grasping that vision, really feeling good in our gut about some of the decisions that we've already made and the directions in which we've chosen to walk. The sun is going to make a very positive aspect with Chiron, which does suggest that there is a huge amount of transformation absolutely possible here, but mostly it's illuminating the uncertainties, the doubts, the insecurities. Chiron, of course, is that wounded healer, the sun shining a bright light on it, and the sun being in Scorpio is highlighting the darkness so that we can have that darkness in our awareness and try to work with it to turn it into a source of power. The moon is going to make an aspect with Saturn, the Lord of Karma. This is really going to turn the volume up on our negative narratives. We don't deserve it. We're not worthy. We can't do it. We're not enough. We don't have the energy. All of these little ego blips are coming in to try and keep us in a state of paralysis. The moon is going to try to get us out of that by sextiling with Jupiter, really trying to bring the positivity back, the big picture back, really hype us up, hype girl action, get us emotionally charged up about the possibilities of the future. But it's not going to last so long because there's likely going to be an external trigger from a personal relationship, from a personal situation that maybe has fallen apart or rubbed you the wrong way. Because the moon goes ahead and bumps into Pluto. And Pluto is really showing us where in our external worlds, our fears, our uncertainties, our paranoia, our obsessive thinking, all the darkness, where that is actually validated. So it does speak that there will be an external trigger that does kind of show us, maybe I'm not right to grow right now. Maybe I should just stay where I'm at. Maybe I shouldn't try something new. Mars is going to go ahead and bump into Neptune, and this isn't going to be the most positive aspects. Mars, of course, in his place of power in Scorpio. Neptune, of course, in his place of power in Pisces. There's a hard connection to our intuition. We are blinded right now. We can't feel good. There's not an alignment. We're not being encouraged to see, feel, or think clearly. So we get a little bit hesitant and we could act out of our uncertainties, out of our instabilities. We're having a hard time right now emotionally. And because of that, Mars ruling over our physical energy does have the tendency to act out in all the wrong ways. The moon is going to bump into Uranus, and this is going to be a sudden shock to the system. Why? Because our thoughts are very dark, they're very rapid, they're very uncertain and unstable. That Uranian energy is trying to create chaos and uncertainty in us so that we can recognize what it is that we don't feel so solid about and what it is that we have to kind of put our time, energy, and focus into in order to resolve those problems. The moon is going to semi-square the sun. And by this particular point, the moon will be in Capricorn energy, giving us a little bit more of a dose of reality, a bitch slap of reality, if you will. We're a lot more grounded. We're focused on what needs to be done. And the sun, of course, in Scorpio is highlighting where the change is needed, where the transformation is needed, where we feel like we're out of control and lacking our own power and authority, and where it is that we have to take it back. And so we do end off the day with the moon making a not so nice aspect with the true node, which really has us questioning our path forward, questioning our dreams, our visions, our goals, questioning whether or not we are actually pouring in emotionally, mentally, and physically into the things that we need to actually build in our lives to align with the futuristic dreams, goals, and visions that we're looking to manifest. We are going to wake up tomorrow with a little bit more of a somber attitude, a little bit more of a it is what it is approach. And that is actually going to work very well for us because tomorrow, Moon Day, is very hectic, very active, and we are going to be all over the place.